Good afternoon. My name is Christopher Aiello. I'm the Director of Trust and Estate Planning at Atlas Private Wealth. Appreciate your time today. We're going to cover some estate planning and charitable gift planning topics we discuss when conducting client reviews with a mind towards year-end reviews. A question that comes up during those reviews is, when should I review my estate plan? And generally that can be every 3 to 5 years, or if there are significant changes to the tax law, or if there has been a major life event that can bring your estate plan up to date with your current situation. So those 3 areas. And in terms of reviewing the plan, these 3 bullet points are the large factors. So updating beneficiary designations, reviewing the trust and will, and your advanced healthcare proxies and power of attorney. Many times changes in family situations can be overlooked during estate planning. So here are a few of those areas where you need to review in addition to the 3 bullet points on the screen. So change in marital status for yourself, children, even grandchildren. Some state laws require that your will be revoked if there is a divorce or remarriage. So you need to look at state law in terms of marrying or divorce. Incapacity for yourself, spouse, or child, birth, adoption of a child, death of spouse, child, close relative, terminal illness. Another big one is moved out of state. So someone is residing in New York, they move to Florida. Will those documents be relevant and germane and in good order in Florida? You need to sit down with the estate planning attorney to determine. For business owners, we have many clients that are business owners. So for that business owner, have you formed, purchased, or sold a business? Have you executed a buy-sell agreement? In terms of beneficiary designations, again, on your life insurance, have they changed? Beneficiary designations can cause issues. Very easy to make changes to those, but it's an area that it's easy to get in trouble. You may have a designation where you had a job years ago and your parents are still named, or your ex-spouse is still named on a designation, or it is blank. Easy enough to make those changes. It's a form. Some need to be notarized, some do not. But post-mortem changes are much harder, and that involves a legal battle. So you don't want to go there. Lastly, in this area, you should also look at your documents for the trustee, executor, and guardian. Have they changed? Are they still alive? Are they still able or willing to accept those fiduciary positions? Have you named successors? So large areas to cover in that review. Switching from those areas, a new area, I'll say not novel, but beginning to become more commonplace, is estate planning for the digital era. So owning digital property, like most of us do, whether it's stored photos, videos, social media accounts, online brokerage, or banking accounts. If you pass and no one has a password, a login to get to those assets and accounts, problematic because of privacy issues and service contracts with the vendor. They cannot provide successors with that information. So how do you solve for that? One thing that you should do is write that information down. Atlas created what we call My Personal Atlas, which is a document gathering form where you can do that. You can list your all your financial accounts, but in this regard, you can list your electronic devices and social media accounts for the equipment name, access information, username, password, and account type. That is a good place to start. We distributed this electronically in the fall and also via hard copy. If you don't have either, contact your Atlas advisor and he or she would be happy to provide you with My Personal Atlas form. Excuse me, a good one to have. Switching gears to gift planning towards year end. At year end, many of our clients look to make gifts to charity. There are various ways to make those gifts. Cash is the simple, the easiest. probably at least tax efficient. If you make a gift by cash, make sure you get a receipt or have a canceled copy of a check to that charity, regardless of the size of the cash donation. A little more tax efficient than that is appreciated long-term capital gain property. These assets are investments that you've held for more than a year and a day. So they are stocks, bonds, mutual funds, even real estate that is appreciated in value over time. Donating long-term, highly appreciated assets instead of cash can be a very effective and tax-efficient way to support a charity. Generally, if the asset has appreciated, it is better to donate the asset outright versus selling the asset, taking the cash proceeds, and then gifting the proceeds to the charity. Why you'd want to gift the proceeds directly to the charity is when the charity sells that asset, they are not taxed on the gain, and you receive, by virtue of the gift to the charity, a income tax deduction. And a note there is to remember that the tax deduction is limited to 30% of your just gross income. If you aren't able to use the entire deduction in that tax year, you can carry forward the unused deduction for up to 5 years. Additional ways to donate versus cash or appreciated securities can be specialized charitable vehicles to make giving easier and really to manage the tax benefits. One such way to do that would be a donor advised fund. So donor advised fund allows you to make a donation of appreciated stock held long-term and receive a current year tax deduction. You can then grant those assets in the donor advised fund over time and have the remaining assets in the fund invested so they can grow over time and for future grants. Fidelity and Schwab both do those as mutual fund companies. They have very robust websites and have a lot of information. So if you need any info on donor advised funds, take a look at that, or as always, contact your Atlas advisor. If you prefer and need income and would like to donate to charity, you could also look at a charitable remainder trust, where that will generate income for you and then at a later date assets to the charity. And lastly, in this area, another option to consider if you're over age 70 and a half is a qualified charitable distribution, or a QCD. What that does is you can take assets out of your retirement account, such as a traditional IRA. That QCD is a tax-free distribution from the IRA that can be donated directly to the charity and is not deemed income for you for tax purposes in that year. Additionally, that QCD can be used to meet up to $100,000 of your required minimum distribution from your IRA. A note on this again, no tax deduction for the QCD, but it is not deemed as income to you on your return for tax purposes. So QCD is a great way to get assets to charity, and it is tax beneficial to you. So those are a couple of quick, short, but very robust ways to donate to the charities of your choice and also help you with your taxes. So if you have questions on those, please talk to your Atlas advisor, and we appreciate you spending time with us today. Thank you very much.